And now it's time for another Pimpy's reaction video. Yay! Oh my god, I heard that thing like 1,000 times and I still have not got sick of it. Yeah, there's 7 different cartoon characters' voices on there, and I have actually done all 7 of them. Anyways, what is going on out there, peeps? You know, from time to time, you guys will send me these obscure kind of videos, or, you know, they're just ridiculous. And you say, what do you think, Pimpy? Some of the videos that come out, I have to admit, they're entertaining. It's funny to watch liberals make videos, and you'll see why here in just a moment. The thing that gets me is they're so sensitive. When you play their videos over and over, you realize just how ridiculous they sound. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a moment. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. Somebody said, Pimpy, take a look at this video and share your opinion on these people and what they're saying. And I gotta admit, I got hooked on a few of these videos. They're so entertaining. But it really just shows a sadder side of things. Let's get into this.
If you're a white liberal leftist or consider yourself to be a white ally, I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
Don't create any more content on TikTok until September 22nd. And honestly, you deserve a break because every day is a white person day.
I agree with her. White liberals, take a break. I'll drink to that. Every day is a white person day. Every day is a white person day. It's already starting off. So every day is a white person day. Not sure what that means, but it sounds entertaining so far.
And y'all must be exhausted.
Wait, she's saying white person day and she's saying y'all? I love this.
While you sit back, listen, learn, and truly decenter yourself, Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, we got it from here.
Wait, what do you mean we got it from here? Is she considered herself a woman of color? Yeah, no, she's not.
Please, though, continue to like, comment, and share our content because y'all are always talking about how you want to support us and create equity.
Yeah, that's liberals for you. The funny thing is, when I watch these videos, I don't think these idiots realize what they're saying. They have not thought the words through. They are attacking their own people. White liberals, white allies. This is funny. You know, the entertaining part about the people from the left is their reverse racism, their nonstop attack against white people, and white liberals allow this to happen. They do. It's entertaining. It really is. There's this video I saw of a group of white people begging for forgiveness from black people. I thought, what the hell is this? Felt very sorry for them. But she's a perfect example of the monsters that are being created on the left. They attack their own, and it's entertaining. I can't help it.
The truth that so many of y'all are unwilling to accept is that you do not want Black, Indigenous, and other people of color to lead and pave the way. Because what would we do without your perspective, your voice, your commentary, your education?
What do you mean? We would thrive here in America. I agree with her. Get rid of the liberal education. I mean, I'm agreeing with her. You know, they don't want minorities to thrive. I agree 100%. The white Democrats, the white liberals, I'm 100% supportive of what she's saying.
We would thrive.
Buckle in, I'm going to get brutally honest.
Uh-oh.
The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Who created these monsters? We did. We birthed them. We nursed them. We read their little nursery rhymes and sang the little songs. We taught them in their preschools and their kindergartens. And
I want you to just take a moment to reflect on the fact that most of these women that you're listening to talk are actually teachers. As a matter of fact, I think all of them are teachers except one who's a counselor at a school. So this woman is attacking other white women, saying it's your fault for the way boys are raised, I think.
In their first and third grades, white women craft their own gilded cage. And we do it
Oh my God.
by raising little misogynistic, patriarchal tyrants.
Well, sweetheart, that's why I support liberals getting abortions 100%. I'm against abortion. But when liberals talk about getting abortions, I support it 100%. And now you can see why she makes the perfect case for it.
We raise the little boys who grow up to be the Donald Trumps, the Mitch McConnells, the Greg Locks of the
Rich, successful people? What is she trying to say? Who doesn't want to be a billionaire?
this world. White women raised them.
It's your fault.
Now I hear you on the last sentence. When these little tyrants grow up and abuse us, and we speak out about it, yeah, we're gonna be institutionalized.
Oh my God. Ah. White liberals, you guys bring me endless entertainment. I just want you to know that.
We'll be called crazy.
You are crazy.
And this hits home personally. One of my grandmothers was institutionalized. And when I look back at her story, I'm
That explains a lot.
convinced she had complex PTSD because of domestic violence. I don't think she was crazy at all.
Well, sweetheart, why don't you continue to share all your personal family secrets on social media platforms? Continue, white liberal.
And we could look at her life specifically and see what kind of choices did she really have. I mean, it was her husband, my grandfather, who crafted her fate. But
Where the hell is her grandfather, man? Seriously. Oh my goodness.
as a whole, white women raise the white boys who grow up to be the tyrants. And until we own that fact, it will be a perpetual truth.
Oh, sweetheart, own it, own it, own it, own it. I support that 100%. Look, as a Mexican, I grew up in the greatest time in history. I was born in the 60s, made it through the 70s and 80s. I saw the transformation of America moving away from its racist roots. Now, I'm not trying to say that racism is gone 100%. Look, it's always going to be there. You're going to have it. But it's nothing like it was back when I was growing up. Absolutely is nothing like it is. Okay, so I think it's entertaining that these people create all these victim groups that are out there. And it's not everyone. It's just white liberal women creating victim groups is what they do. It gives them some sense of purpose, I guess. I don't know.
The truth is, most white women are perfectly fine in the comfort of their gilded cage. Family first, America first.
Yeah. She acts like that's a bad thing. Listen what she says. Family first, American first. Like, how dare you think of your family first? Obviously, she has family issues and needs to see a psychologist big time. And if she has an issue with the way she raised her children, don't take that out on society. You know, look at yourself in the mirror while you wear a straitjacket.
School counselor because I believe in the transformative power of early intervention. And I don't just mean
What? This woman is a school counselor. And you heard what she said? She believes in early intervention. What does she think she needs to intervene in is the big question.
the power to transform individual lives. I mean the power to transform society. When I teach young boys to acknowledge and honor the wide range of their emotions, when I can help them to own their mistakes and offer sincere and authentic apology, when I can encourage them to embrace their vulnerability and ask for help when they
Oh, good Lord, this woman is a counselor at a school. And she is targeting white little boys. She thinks she's running a intervention on your behalf. This is happening in your schools.
I can see small cracks in the patriarchy start to form. When I talk to my students about identity, stereotypes, bias, and privilege.
Well, here's the thing. Most children don't even know anything about that until you bring it up to their attention. Seriously. And by bringing it to their attention at such a young age, then they grow up to really resent one another, because there's white kids out there going, I'm not a racist. I'm not oppressing nobody. What does the past for this country have to do with me as an individual? Now your accusations against a totally innocent person has set them back to the point where they're pissed. And what do you think is going to happen? You're causing more division than you're helping.
And they start to notice the inequities in the world around them, and they start to call for change. I can see cracks in white supremacy. I start to...
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Sorry, hold on one second. White parents, listen to me. I'm Mexican. And it really, really is freaky to see white liberals attack their own people. You see, here's the issue about what this woman's saying. If she truly had a white supremacist child in her classroom and that child's parents found out what you were doing and saying, all hell would break loose. They would not tolerate the types of things you're saying right now to their children. Let's just be honest about it. But you also falsely labeling white children as white supremacists when, one, they either don't know what it means, or if they're old enough to know what it means and they're not a white supremacist, well, you've now created a person with a lot of resentment, and that causes problems in society. And it's all because of what you did.
Language matters. Words matter.
Okay.
Oppression, hate, even things as severe as slavery start with words.
Huh?
Okay, this is how we construct society. Social constructs begin in language.
I want you to remember, this woman is a teacher. Think about that. Teaching your kid.
To be able to reconstruct a society or to create social change, you need to do it at the level of language. Like, if you don't even have a shared language, you cannot affect any change because you don't have a common language.
Well, then tell Democrats to stop letting so many illegals across the border.
So it's so important to become really familiar with the nuance of language and how language evolves and what language means. Today I was teaching kids about Harriet Tubman, and we were talking about enslavement versus slavery, or slave versus enslaved person.
Wait a minute. I thought there were these rules from white liberals. Males, white males, could not talk about women's rights because they're not a female. They can't talk about abortions, birth control, anything like that because they're not a female. So why do we have a non-black teacher talking about slavery? Isn't that considered culture appropriation? Something like that? So why are you talking about that type of stuff in the classroom if you are not qualified? So if we take the liberal criteria and how they judge things, then I think only a former black slave should be able to talk about slavery in class.
Person, and we were unpacking all of the nuances of language and how important it is to...
Well, let me just run something past you there, sweetheart. The Democrats wanted to put Harriet Tubman on a dollar bill, a currency. But I want you to think about something really, really hard and who Harriet Tubman was. She's a woman who freed a ton of slaves, a ton of them. So here's my question to you, and I want you to think about this really hard. Do you think Harriet Tubman would want her face on an instrument that is responsible for the enslavement of citizens all around the world? Sure, let me put you on a dollar bill, the very instrument used to enslave people. Now, I don't know Harriet Tubman personally, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that she would not appreciate you putting her face on an instrument that's responsible for the enslavement of millions of people. Just throwing it out there.
To name things what they are. And they didn't even know that slavery was still alive and well in some places, and that some of the things like human trafficking or slavery that's happening in other places is still alive today.
Yes, it is. Thanks to the Democrats leaving the borders open, we have children's sex trafficking. We have adult sex trafficking. When Obama and Hillary Clinton took out Gaddafi, they literally now have a slave trade market there. It's been on videos. They march up like they did back in the olden days, hands tied behind your back, people bid on you. They're selling slaves. And you can thank the Democrats for all these things.
Like blew their minds. Because we don't call things what they are and we don't unpack these nuanced language, like what all these things mean. So much flies under the
Sweetheart, it's not language. Why don't you try education?
radar because we don't call things what they are. And
sure, I think you're an idiot. I have no problems with calling you that.
this is the problem with positivity bullying. It minimizes the impact of some words. It seeks to repackage something.
Again, a quick reminder, she is a teacher teaching one of your children out there.
Into something nicer to hear to reduce discomfort. But all we're doing really is empowering that violence to continue to happen because we aren't calling it things what they are.
You know the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me? Smack them with the dictionary.
Language is violence.
What? Wait. She said that. I can just picture war right now of a bunch of people standing across a field from one another, just lobbing out words. Dude, we got 3,000 casualties today. All of them hit with the F-bomb. Words are violent. Yeah, okay. Well, let's take a moment to reflect on what it is you just said. Words are violent. If words can be used for violence, then couldn't words be used for healing? Just throwing that out there.
White supremacists don't shoot a place just because it starts in language. Why do they leave a manifesto?
Wait. White supremacists just shoot a place. Oh my gosh. I love how each one of these people say white supremacy, like it's the most dominating thing in this nation. It's not. Let me use the immortal words of Morgan Freeman. When asked about how do we end racism, he said it's simple. Stop talking about it. You see, the number of school shootings, the number of so-called mass shootings just decreased. The only thing that's changed is the amount of media coverage because they have an agenda.
So why is leaving a message so important for these violent racists? Stop trying to minimize what things are.
Yeah, they have mental health issues. So stop trying to blame it on racism when the truth is they're just freaking wackadoodles, okay?
If somebody calls you a racist, consider what it is that you're doing to perpetuate white supremacy and racism. And
well, for the most part, when it comes from anybody from the left calling you racist, it doesn't mean you're racist. That's just what they use whenever you don't agree with their agenda. You see, they use it as a weapon to put you back on your heels. You end up dropping the subject that you were speaking about, and you're spending and wasting all your time defending yourself, saying, wait a minute, I'm not a racist. That is the tactic. They just throw it at you to put you back on your heels. The best thing you do is just keep moving forward with your point of view on a subject that you're debating about, and stop letting them corner you with you're a racist.
instead of being defensive about the label and telling people, don't call me that, I'm not a racist, like stop dismissing the label and sit with your discomfort and
Well, wait, did you ever stop to think that the reason why they're dismissing the label is because they're not a racist, and you calling them a racist doesn't make them a racist?
understand that that language is important, that you're being called a racist for
Nerdy education stuff.
Nerdy education stuff? You're being called a racist for nerdy education stuff? Let's go, white liberals. Let's hear some more.
You have asked me how I build an anti-racist classroom. One of the first steps in achieving this is having a culturally responsive
classroom. So the idea is that children come into your classroom with their own knowledge, their own experiences, cultures, and backgrounds. Aside from just naming that and celebrating our differences, one of the ways that I do this is having a community board. So on the community board, we'll have pictures of our families, especially in the beginning of kindergarten. That's so helpful.
Is she saying that she teaches kindergarten and she has created a community board of kindergartens? They have no idea that they're black, that they're white, that they're Mexican. They have no idea what racism is, misogyny is. They don't have any idea about those things. And what you're doing is introducing this crap to them at such an early age that they're only going to be resentful.
And you can add artifacts, pictures, whatever, things that are meaningful to them and their families. This can also be brought into the curriculum and the space. Something in the past that's been an issue is surrounding black and brown students with...
If they really believe that there's that many white supremacists, can you imagine what it would be like at the community? You're allowed to bring in an artifact, anything that represents you, and this little kid comes in with a white burning cross. I mean, a little hood on and stuff. You're like, what the hell? Oh, wow, there's so many white supremacists. They're going to come in with the little dolls with the pointy hoods on them. Come on now.
Just white representation in literature, in photos, in mentors. Making sure that the people you teach about in your classroom look like your students is so great. And let them share their own experiences too.
It is also not my job to tell my students who to vote for or how to vote because it's their vote. So what I get to do as a teacher is I get to make sure they have all of the knowledge that they need to make their vote count.
So basically, you're giving them your one-sided opinion. So don't say you're not forming their opinion on how they should vote. And just by the look of you, God knows it's going to be Democrat.
I do that by using anti-racist curriculum and instruction in my classroom. This makes sure that my curriculum is both a window and a mirror for my BIPOC and white students to see not only themselves in my curriculum, but also see lives of others and experiences that they might not otherwise have. In doing so, my students learn.
That's the key word, is experience. You're not allowing them to experience anything. You're not allowing them to form an opinion on anything. You're giving them their opinion. You're forming the way they think by teaching them this crap.
About how these experiences are affecting the people around them, and that when they vote, it's not just about voting for themselves.
It's funny how she said, well, we got to be concerned about how we form the opinion of the people around them. It's not your job to form. Life experiences teach them this.
It's about voting for others and using their privilege to make their vote count for others who don't have the privilege or the ability to vote.
If you're an American citizen in America and you're over the age of 18, it's your constitutional right to vote. So what the hell is she talking about? Voting for minors? Dear parents, whether you're white, black, Mexican, Asian, I don't care which nationality is, this crap is being taught in our schools right now. And look what we are creating.
Just because it's incredibly abstract. But the fact is that you can't come up with a simple definition. Let's go with the obvious alternatives. A woman's someone with XX chromosomes. Well, that doesn't work because plenty of cis women don't have XX chromosomes. For example, people with XY gonadal dysgenesis will have XY chromosomes, but will develop as cis women. So chromosomes don't work for us. And by the way, this is only one of many ways.
Chromosomes don't work for you. And I can see, nor do brains. This is ridiculous. I could do this all day long. This is entertaining, man. So quite a few people were sending this. We were joking around about it. And they're like, Pimpy, man, you got to do a video, respond to this. Look, I said, I'm the wrong person, man, to respond to this kind of stuff because I have very low tolerance when it comes to these things. And I can't tell you how many times I disagree with this agenda and been called a white supremacist. And I'm like, wow, man, as a Mexican, that is offensive. It really is. But nothing is more enjoyable than watching white liberal women create victim categories and attack their own. You could hear these women in the beginning of these videos. Seriously. They're saying white liberals and so-called allies need to shut the hell up. And I can't agree more with that. Anyways, that's it for now. Let me know what you think. I'll look for your comments, and I'll catch you later. I'm out.